Okay, we're just continuing. This is a conversation with Dawn. Correct me how to say your name correctly. Hoezee?
Jose.
Jose.
It's the
Dawn
Dutch Jose.
Okay, great. And Dawn, would you mind just giving a quick summary of where you practice, who you are, what you do for us?
Sure, a quick one. Okay, I'm Dawn Hoezee, and my practice is in Jenison, Michigan. Oh, lovely Michigan right now. And what I do a lot of different things between training and helping clients as well. But the main technique that I use is called contact reflex analysis. And my father was Dr. Dick Versendaal, and he's the founder and developer of the technique. So I grew up learning as he researched and developed the whole technique. And so what I do right now, I'm a educator and a counselor, and so I use C.R.A. to uncover imbalances in the body, and they could be structural imbalances, and I can refer out to a chiropractor if need be. They could be nutritional biochemical imbalance, and then, okay, what do you need to balance that out? Could it be nutritional supplementation, essential oils, change of diet, or I work with even the emotions, because the emotions really can affect the whole health of the body and how you perceive things. So we've had some conversations about that just due to what's going on in the world right now.
This is the year of the corona, by the way, if we're watching this years later.
Yeah, there we go. Yes.
So how would someone find you? Do you have like anything on Facebook, or do you have a website, or if people wanted to contact you or they had a question, or someone will often ask me, how do you find a doctor who does this type of work? Do you have some type of how to find you or other practitioners suggestions?
At this point, we don't necessarily have a how to find another practitioner. You can send me an email or find me on Facebook, Dawn Hoezee, and just send me a message. Hey, do you happen to have anybody you know in such and such an area? I'll tell you, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors who have learned C.R.A. in the past, but few have really gotten to the point and stayed current and are able to do it as Dr. Versendaal did it in the last years of his life. Where
I know it was like constantly he was kind of tweaking it all along.
He did, and he did. And so I use the analogy of cars. Some people are like, I learned it. I love my Model T car. It gets me from point A to point B, and it just, it has the four wheels, it has the engine, the motor, and everything else. And it's like, yep, you do. But why wouldn't you want a car like right now? Wouldn't you want a current, I don't know, Ferrari? What do you want? I love my Jeep, my Jeep. And, that's what I want. So I kind of say the people who are doing the older way of C.R.A. when he first started in training, it's valid. It'll get you from point A to point B and stuff like that. But what I teach right now is what my dad taught in the last years of his life, and I organized it differently. So it's streamlined. So it's kind of like your current vehicle to get you from point A to point B, go over various terrains quickly. So
that's a wonderful story. I wanted to give you the compliment again while it was being recorded that Dr. Versendaal was this kind of genius, but I always prefer you as the teacher, because Dr. Versendaal would go like, it's so easy, right? And I would be like, I don't understand anything you said. Can Dawn stand up? I get her. So I just
thank you.
You were a very clever teacher. So it makes sense. It's worth saying twice.
Yeah. So anyway, to find me, it would be Facebook, Dawn Hoezee. That's my personal. I also have started a blog, and that's dawnrenee.com. And Renee is spelled, so it's DAWN, and Renee is spelled RANAE. So dawnrenee.com. So I started that blog, and I do some of the videos, and then I do the writings and put it on my blog. I just really want to encourage people during this time and throughout their lives, because we're in the Corona year right now. I don't care what year it is.
Yeah.
There's crisis. There's personal crisis. There's community crisis. There's corporate crises. So we're dealing with all that at all times.
I wanted to just share something from me. Although this Corona stuff is going on, I try not to watch TV too much because I find it not productive or positive.
Correct.
But the people keep coming into my office, and it's people need care, and it doesn't seem to be much care related to virus stuff. It's just my stomach hurts, I have chest problems, I'm tired, I have a rash. Just people still need care year in and year out for usual stuff, and I
Absolutely.
haven't found it too crazy or different than usual, except people are nervous. And so that's just my observation. You're like you say, there's problems year in and year out, and
Right.
we're here to help.
Right. Exactly.
Which brings me to another question. Do you see certain trends in people's health? Or is there a kind of a pattern? Like I see this a lot related to the diet of America, or I see this a lot related to the stress level in my average patient, or is there something that you kind of observe as a common theme?
The common theme, and it's because I do C.R.A., is the heart. That, and when we're talking about trends, we can talk about diet trends. So most people understand that the food that they eat is the fuel for their body.
Yeah.
It provides the resources that it needs to keep. If you eat healthy food, you're going to get your vitamins and your minerals, your nutrients that your body's going, oh, these are my resources. I get to use this, and to keep it going, functioning optimally, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't get those resources because you're eating junk food, synthetic foods, and the high sugars, your body's going, these are my resources. Okay, I'll use them. I'll use what I can, but I'm not getting enough of this. So it's going to start stealing from other parts of your body. Mm-hmm. And for example, if you're not getting enough calcium, your bones need calcium. Well, your heart needs calcium as well. Could it be that your bones are getting weaker because you're not getting enough calcium, you're not utilizing enough calcium, your body's stealing it from your bones to give it to your heart. Right. And so it's kind of like what your diet number one trend. And we've got the terrible American diet, fast food. Let's go fast and furious through the drive-throughs. Yeah. The other thing is, I do believe that it's all about the heart, because I could go on for hours just about the heart, but my dad, Dr. Versendaal, always called the heart the queen bee. So give you an example about the queen bee. Her job in the hive is to lay eggs to make sure bee life continues, right? Yes. And so all the drones do all the other work, making sure that the queen gets everything that she needs for that. And so our heart's the queen bee. You can be brain dead or other things going on, but your heart's you're going to be alive yet, right? But it's when our heart beats its last that we are gone. That's the death. So when our heart is moving and beating, it is consistent every single hour of every single day. It does not take a rest. And all the other organs are the drones. It's going to do what it needs to do. Sometimes it needs to work overtime to support that heart. Sometimes it needs to sacrifice its own needs to support the heart so that we can continue to live one day longer. Now, what are those things that affect our heart? It can be what you eat. It can be that's not getting the nutrients it needs. So other organs are going to sacrifice their nutritional needs so that the heart can have it. But especially right now, it's the emotions. It's the fear that is just overwhelming the heart. And one of those things people don't understand, but science has shown, is that the heart remembers. It has its own brain. And we get to talk energy here and how much energy your heart produces versus your brain and how much your brain produces. Your heart produces more energy. And if we're talking electromagnetic energy or magnetic field, in the magnetic field, it's 5,000 times stronger than the brain's energy. So we've got this massive powerhouse right in our chest here. And all these things that are going on in our life, think of the traumas, think of the chaoses, think of all the things your patients, and if I'm talking to your patients, thinking of all those things that you, the patient, has gone through in your life. that affects the energy of your heart. It affects, and if it's affecting the queen, it's going to affect other organs.
Yeah.
So maybe they come in and go, I can't sleep. I can't sleep at night. I just keep going. My brain keeps going and going and going. Well, it could be because you have a lot to think about. But some people work on, okay, I have to calm the brain. I have to calm the brain. But really what the brain is doing is working overtime to support the heart. So really what you need to do is support the heart. And then the brain goes, oh, wow, I've been working overtime and sacrificing for that heart. And yep, you couldn't sleep, but I had to keep doing that so that you could keep beating all night long. And so then you help the heart and the brain goes, thank you. And then they're both in sync again. And yeah, it's just those ways of connecting your experiences, your body, the different organs you have to your heart. What is that? Is there something there?
Yeah. So there's hope.
Always. Always. There is always hope. And I have found even some of the simplest things you can come in, and your patients probably come in to you and you're going to work on them, their structures, you're going to work on them biochemically, you're going to find out where the imbalance is, and your job is to balance that out. And once balance occurs, then the body goes, oh, thank you, and it can heal itself. Our bodies are so amazing. It can heal itself if we give it the resources and bring it into balance. So there is absolutely always, always hope. And because it is so amazing, our bodies are.
Yeah, I totally agree. This is just another random question. I was thinking about C.R.A. and the nutritional options, and then you have essential oils options, and you have structure options. There's more than one nutritional option for the heart. And then I was thinking, Vervita. What can you give me just a quick description of why Vervita started?
Vervita started in 2009, and if you remember, 2008-ish, the economy had tanked. And so my dad had worked with many other nutritional companies before, and essential oil companies, but they had hundreds, literally hundreds, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 different choices of nutrition. And it really was overwhelming. They would get, if you needed vitamin D, you're going to have just straight vitamin D, or vitamin C. You're going to have straight vitamin. Think of all the various single bottles you could have. Well, number one, as a doctor, that's a whole lot of inventory on the shelf. As a patient, let's say you have a family of 4 and you go in and see the doctor, son 1 needs this 3 bottles or 2 bottles of something, and then the daughter needs 1 to 2 of something, mom needs this, dad needs, they could walk out with 15 different bottles for things, and that might be small amount. Well, at that time, just to be able to afford the variety of supplements and essential oils was just overwhelming. So to the doctors and the patients. So my dad who was a genius at understanding how the body worked together as a whole, he goes, you know what, vitamins and minerals and even essential oils, but they don't work in isolation. They work together in synergy. If you have vitamin D, you also need other things to get vitamin D to work optimally. So putting those formulas together, he was just a genius at going, okay, I'm going to support entire systems of the body, and I'm going to put formulas together with each of the vitamins and minerals that work together. So just smaller amounts create a big impact on a big area of the body, because your body doesn't work in isolation either. We just talked about the heart and the various organs that support that. You got your digestive system. There's so many supplement companies out there that will give you, a certain vitamin to help you digest, and another one for your gallbladder, another one for your liver, another one for your bowel. He went, I'm going to support that whole digestive system. So that's kind of where it came about, a need to not overwhelm, to take small amounts of things to create a powerful impact on systems of the body so that it could balance. And he created 10 nutritional supplements and then 60
instead of 500.
Instead of 500. And it has just been so well received. And I work really hard to make sure that all the ingredients in them are top quality ingredients. There's no added fillers. Junk food, sometimes you can look at them and going, oh, you don't know if there's capsules, certain companies will add fillers to it, and it's synthetic fillers.
I think
And
didn't you change from regular B12 to methyl B12 in the near past?
Yeah, the active B form of B12 is in there as well, because some people, they didn't have the ability to utilize that.
I appreciated that. I noticed that and was like, yay, thanks.
Yeah.
And then Vervita also has the essential. I don't see many companies, nutrition companies, say, oh, and also we find essential oils are very important, and you have a great 6 powerful choices, which I use a lot.
Now 7, because I created Royal Wonder.
Okay.
Yeah, 7. Yep.
7
and
now.
I haven't said a whole lot about that. That can be another time. But when I was going through the trauma after the death of my father, sudden death of him, I worked to create Royal Wonder, which is beautiful for trauma and chaos and everything else.
I need to get some of that ordered and at least have one in my hand for testing.
Yeah, that would be great. And that is my absolute favorite. Even smell wise, I have several women using it as their perfume now. That is what they love. So yeah,
it's not too stinky.
Oh no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It really is.
That's my one that I hate the smell of the most is black cumin oil.
Oh really? Okay.
I don't care for it, but I will eat it.
Now, is it because you need it? What I often find is the people that whatever they need, it's like, oh, I don't want that one. Immune Harmony is one I often need for my adrenals, kidneys, bladder. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I don't want that one. It's a more pine smell, I guess, pine. And I love pine trees, but for some reason, when I need it, I know I need it because I'm going, don't want it.
I like forest smell. It's like, I'm in the forest.
Exactly. I don't want to be in the forest. My adrenals don't want to be in the forest.
I was going to ask you, Dawn, if there's any new things going on with the C.R.A. and you told me about this Royal Wonder sample, so you've already been answering some of my questions. Is there any other new things going on that you could share besides that new product?
The new product for Vervita, that would have been the Royal Wonder. In C.R.A., I had shared with you that I had put online training there. And it is online. I can send you a link if you want to put it along with this video, a link to it. And even patients can go to the app to learn some things about C.R.A. There's some in the app, there's a certain aspect of it that's free. You can learn how to do some of the testing for free, and it's up to them if they want to or not. There's certain parts like Module 1, Module 2, it's for health professionals only. But I think it's important. I have all my clients learn some aspect of C.R.A. so that they can, do some things at home. I love to educate.
I have a patient asking that very thing. Is there anything I can learn? Because I'm going to move away from where you are, and I wish I could do a few things for my family. I'm like, yeah, I wish there was some learning area for you.
Yep.
So I'll share that link.
Yep. I'll send you the link when this is finished, and you can put that with there. And on it, anybody can I finished this book too. This is a Module 1 book, so it might be a little bit above, but that's something they can decide. But patients can learn certain aspects of C.R.A. and it's open to that, and it's for them so that they can work on their families, help themselves work on their families.
Yeah, I like to be more of the troubleshooter, and if you can solve it yourself at home, like, every allergy season that comes around, you need this thing, learn that and do that for yourself. But if there's something you just can't figure out, then come to me. So,
and there always will be. There always will be. I've had some docs go, well, really, if they are able to do everything, then why would they need me? I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, there's a world of hurt out there, and the expertise that you need to really hone in on understanding how the whole body works together as a whole. Let me tell you, the clients that I have, they can do, just like you said, the C.R.A. at a base level. And I have no problem with them learning and stuff like that. But they know when they need to come and see me, going, this is what I've been working on. And I haven't, there's something more going on. Dawn, can you figure it out? Or
yeah, there's always something that's slightly askew. That's like you need to be a detective for something that's a little squirrely to try to figure out.
Right. And you have tools in your toolbox. You have years of training and understanding, and you are the doctor. So that's a whole different level of understanding and wisdom that you have and experience in the body.
Yeah, the experience, I will often listen to someone's story and I go, I think I know what it is, without even testing, just from sheer years of hearing
Right.
stories.
Right.
Dawn, I had another question that popped up in my mind. It was the premise of, let's say someone presents with a certain complaint. It could be anything. How often, people think of me kind of as a nutritional type doctor, which I am mainly, but how often is someone's complaint coming from another person affecting them or their environment affecting them?
Oh, wow. Oh, you're getting into advanced C.R.A. stuff.
I thought people would enjoy hearing just a small teaser answer from you.
Oh, I don't necessarily have an answer for how often, but it absolutely is possible.
It is involved.
It totally is involved, because we're energy beings. And so we like to think that this is who I am here, right? And all these things I have to keep in balance. I have to keep all these organs in balance. But I say balance, we're talking energy balance. And within that energy balance, we have the nutrition, we have the emotions, we have the structures and stuff. But think about where you're sitting. I'm looking around right now. And the dyes in the carpet. We have outside, somebody just sprayed for mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And so there's chemicals out there. Do you think it is affecting me? Yes, it is. My body has to work because of the chemicals out there. You don't see me coughing. I'm not going to get allergies. I'm not personally going to even know that is it affecting me. But it's a chemical. But my body, again, is created so beautifully. It's going, chemical alert. All right, liver's working, heart's going, all right, you've got this. We've got our whole detox system. We've got the sinuses. We've got the lymph. It's going to take it. It's going to neutralize it. My body's going to get rid of it. But now imagine if my body isn't working optimally. It's already under stress. The mosquito chemical is coming in. They just sprayed out there. What do you think my body's going to do? Oh, alert, overwhelm. And then my sinuses are going to start running. I might get a stomachache. I might get a headache, whatever, all those things, because of external environmental things.
Yeah. I remember.
That's where you are.
Yeah. I remember Dr. Versendaal saying a lot about the electrical stress. He usually wore like a little pendant. He talked about the electricity of the house, take care of the kitchen drain, the essential oils in particular rooms. And it just like kind of blew my mind about how you take care of yourself first, but you also need to take care of your environment. Sometimes someone's annoying you and you need to get them better because you're feeling some of the stress that they're putting off, making you feel bad.
Absolutely. And just an interesting story, a fun story about that. When my daughter came over and we're sitting here and she's going, oh, I just don't feel good. And I'm like, okay, let me check you out. And I don't even remember what organ it was, that probably the heart for all I know. And I said, okay, your heart, well, what's going on? I don't know, Mom. I think we always blame COVID and fear right now, but that really wasn't it when I was testing. And then I said, okay, my husband was home and he was working at the kitchen table because everybody has to work at home right now. So he was doing Zoom calls and stuff. I went, well, Dad's working. Let's go up in the other room and away, and I'll check you there. I went up and guess what? She was fine. And I'm looking at her and she's going, oh. And I went, let's go back down. So we went back down by my husband. We were quietly, and I'm testing her, and she was just weak. And she couldn't do it. We waited till my husband was off the Zoom call, and she goes in and she goes, Dad, you're sucking my energy.
How dare you?
He just looked at her and he goes, thank you.
Yeah.
But I had to work on him. He was under a lot of stress. There was a whole lot of stuff going on, and with work. And I needed to work on him. And I said, okay, you're killing us all. Just here, we have technology called optimizers, and I put a belt around him and I started working on his heart and stuff like that. And so worked on him, and then finally checked my daughter later, and she's going, well, I'm feeling better. So checked her right up, and yeah, it was good. But that was just recent, probably within the past 4 weeks that happened, where, yeah, it was my husband drawing energy off my daughter.
That's an awesome example. I remember several times when Dr. Versendaal would be like, oh, they just pulled a little bit of energy, sucked some energy off me. Give me a sip of some water or something. He was very aware of some energy field that kind of pulled on him, that he'd get like a little throat tickle.
And many people actually do that. That's one of the things I tell my clients. I'll go, have you ever gone into a room and all of a sudden you just get this slight right here, and you feel like you have to cough? It's a my dad would always talk about it as, okay, you're jump starting your heart. That cough is a jump start to your heart. And people will, well, maybe. And then the next time they come in, they would, after they started thinking about it, they go, you're right. That does happen. I mean, you can, when restaurants open up and stuff, you can sit in a restaurant. If you're sitting next to somebody, you got people all around and you're just fine, but all of a sudden you're like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
What is affecting that heart has to do a little cough jump start? What is it? Is it a chemical in the air? Was it a certain aroma, or is it somebody sitting around you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll go through a day sometimes of just no problem, and then the last patient I'll be working on, and I'll just get this dry cough, and I'm like, oh, excuse me, I need a sip of water, and then there must have been something affecting me from that last person.
Yeah.
It's if you're not aware of it, you might miss some of those subtle little things that go through us all the time.
Right. And it's such a different way of thinking. Most people don't think that. When I say something like that, they're looking at me, what? But I grew up knowing this stuff. And as I learned it as he developed it. And so when I hear somebody cough like that, oh, jump starting their heart. Mm-hmm. Somebody, what are you talking about? Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It's a different way of thinking.
It is.
I try, people come in sometimes to me, and my job is to try to be welcoming, calming to them because they come in stressed. And I also try not to blow their mind on the first visit and they think I'm too weird. I try to say, it's amazing. We can do a lot of cool stuff, and not overwhelm them with how much cool stuff there is. To kind of ease them into it. We're going to be pushing on your arm, and we're going to find out some information. And then at the end of the visit, usually they're like, wow, that was great. But it's just a ton of stuff that can be done.
There is so much. And I think as health professionals, we want to share. We want to share the coolness that the body is and how awesome it is and the things that we can discover in there. But you're right, it can be very overwhelming. I have several docs that I train, and they want to share everything with their patients right away, from every little nuance to every little bit of nutrition. And as an educator, all learning is built on prior knowledge, what you have. And so if they come in with nothing and you give them everything, they're drinking from the fire hose and they get nothing.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is perfect. It's just here. And if a patient asks me a question, I'll gladly answer. If they want more, I'll gladly answer. I'm excited to give more information. I love to do that, just like you do. Because you're excited about what you do. You can help. You have the skills. You have the wisdom, and you're like, yes, let's get to it. And
yeah, I get excited when people ask those questions, like, can we check my shampoo?
Yeah.
Check other things? Like, yes. I'm glad you asked.
Please, absolutely, absolutely. And I'll have people come in with, they will say to me, okay, Dawn, you're recommending Vervita products, but I bought this from, I don't know, local GNC or Costco or whatever. Doesn't matter. And then they'll say, is this good, bad, or otherwise? And I can look at a label and I can tell you if it has the dyes, if it has the fillers, if it has the junk in it. There's a lot of allergens that a lot of them have in it as well. I can look at the label and I can tell them, but I'll tell you their body tells, their body will prove it. And I'll say, well, bring it in. I don't have to say a word.
Yeah.
And then they will hold it and just, okay, take Vervita, let's do the strength test. And are you strong with this Vervita or weak with Vervita? And when I work with them, they're strong with it because that's what I have figured needs to balance. Now, I'm just going to step back, but I'm going to test what you want me to test. Oh, you want to know if this nutritional supplement is okay for you, if you can do it? Let's see once. And their body tells them.
Yeah.
And if they're weak, I'm going, what do you think? I'm asking questions. Okay, if you're strong with this one and weak with this one, which one do you want?
Yeah. I find people do come in with bags of stuff, and we muscle test to find which ones are good, and it does thin out a ton of stuff.
Yep.
And I say, you know, keep these few. They look like they're doing good. Here's the ones that are missing, which is related to your complaint that you need. That's a specialized need.
Yep.
Dawn, we could chat for hours.
We could. Let's do this again sometime.
I would like to, because I've already thought of like 20 more questions, and we could do a follow-up with just chat again with some more questions on another day. But thank you very much for allowing me to speak with you and share this recording with my patients or other people.
Thank you. Your patients are very blessed. You are an awesome doctor.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to just cut that snippet out and just put it on the TV for repeat.
There you go. And you should, because the world needs to know. I mean, I'm serious about that. The world needs to know who are the ones that not just treat symptoms, but really have the heart to get in to find the underlying cause and to work to balance the body as a whole. So, and you do that. And you have the heart, not only the skills, but you also have the heart in caring for your patients. So yeah, put that on repeat, please.
I'm just going to filter everything out and just do that one thing. That's
okay. Okay.
Dawn, thank you so much. I will put a link or a little description too of how to find your blog, or just kind of how to spell your name correctly for finding you on Facebook if anyone wishes to find you there.
Perfect. Perfect.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thanks. You have an awesome day.
Okay.